Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. I am here on Brosumersiel. This is a new-ish mod map out by Torben, 131.13 megabytes download. I was unavailable at the weekend, let's just say that. And a few people have asked me, am I going to do the map tour? So here I am, doing the map tour. Now, Torben also brought out Brosumer, which was the first version of this. This isn't technically an update, although it does say a similar landscape. And when you look at the two maps sort of next to each other, it is the same in its very base element, in so much as you've got this berm that runs up the western side of the map, north-south, with water on the outside that in that direction, fairly flat on this way. But that being said, everything then on top of that is different. The layout where things are, it is different. So it's that thing of, I mean, technically it is a new map, not just an update on the previous version. So we are here at the Hotel and Maritime Museum. Sorry, Hotel and Maritime Restaurant sell point, which is just here. We start here at the bus stop where we have been dropped off. There are required mods for this map. There are no custom crops on here. There are contracts available. It does say in the description that once you buy plots of land, any fences around them, fences can be removed from plots of land. So we come up over the top of the berm just here, and we've got a campground down here. Now this, yeah, I'll say one thing I'm going to say, because I'm going to say lots of things, but one of the things I'm going to say is, unfortunately, this is the map. There's a lot of the map you can't purchase. A lot of the map where I feel that Torben has missed a trick on the fact that with production chains, with placeables, with sell, all the stuff we can do, all the modded stuff. If we click on the map, this is what you start with on New Farmer. So we've got the main farm area there. Now this does have a key at the top. The key is start a farm, start off, and then we've got the large dairy farm, which is just here. There's a little yellow marker there on plot 142, which we'll get to later on. We've got a few fields we start with in this plot here. Field prices are pretty much average across the board to any other map, really. Not overly expensive. We've got a lot of small fields, we've got some medium fields, we've got a couple of large-ish ones, but I would say small to medium. Nothing sort of beyond that. But if we click like this, we've got a lot of these patches here with houses and buildings. We've got some with productions and sell points already on. But a lot of these plots of land, we've got some sort of farm areas, farmhouse type things. You can't buy any of those plots of land. You can't buy any of the berm out here, which is fair enough. But this whole big section out here, it's a pity that you can't. Because when you come down here, like, you've got a campground. We've got a marina. There's like a sea pool, you know, where the tide comes in. Tidal pool, I guess what you call it. But you can't buy any of this. There are no sell points on here, which I thought there would be sell points. And then when I came out, I thought, oh, that'd be cool, because you can buy it and you can put some on. But unfortunately, you can't buy the plot of land down here. It's a minor thing, but worth pointing out, because it's nicely done. And the thing I find with maps is, if there are collectibles, if people go on a treasure hunt for collectibles, they will go and explore the map and they'll find all the little features and all the nooks and crannies and all the bits of a map because there are collectibles. If there are sell points, if there are production chains, if there are plots of land that people can buy, people will go to those areas because they're taking crops to sell, whatever like that. But this whole section here, with no sell points and nothing on here, not that I fear it, but my worry is that all the effort that's gone into that, people aren't necessarily going to go out here because there's no reason to. No, that's a general statement, a sweeping statement, because maybe people do go to areas on the maps that don't have anything on them. But generally, if you're doing your farming and you're growing crops and you're going to collect seed, you're going to collect products, you're going to deliver stuff, you'll go to the same areas of a map a lot, and an area like that won't get kind of looked at, which I think, considering the effort that's gone into putting it in, would be a pity. Anyway, that being said, required mods, I said there are 7. They download automatically. They are all by DMI 20mm Normandy, with the inclusion of Reffarmer and Dutch Modding Inc. on a couple of them. They are listed in the description, but they will download automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll get to slot count in just a moment. If we go into build mode, the only things we've got in here, over and above those required mods, if we go to production, Along from factories, we have got a biogas plant. Now, the biogas plant is fairly standard in respect to its cycles per month and recipes. If we then go from there, we have got under generators, we have got a wind turbine just there that's been modded and adjusted. If we go to, there was nothing under animals over and above, nothing under decoration, but landscaping. There were a couple extra painting textures, like the cobblestones and things like that, which I quite like. I do like cobblestones. And then under trees, if we go that way, we've got a whole load put in. If we go to plants, we've got a whole load put in. So that's pretty much everything put in addition by the map maker over and above the required mods. Now we're going to go down this track here, but I'm going to jump because it will take a long time to walk down there. But this is the start farm. On farm management start from scratch, obviously you won't own the land. To buy that start farm area is 98,000. So what we're going to do, we'll jump to the farmhouse. I'll see you there in a moment. So here we are. We're at the sleep trigger of the start farm. There's no wardrobe trigger here. We do have a few buildings and sheds around that don't, I say, serve a purpose. We can't actually get into those buildings. They're not cattle barns or anything like that. We have our harvester just here. It's a little bit overgrown. It kind of gives that impression that you're taking on a farm that might need a bit of work, maybe. Header and header trailer is just here. We do have some cows here, or we have a cow barn here, should I say. This will hold 35 cows. Just there. Trailers, slurry tank. Now, interestingly, was that showing? It is showing as a water point. I was going to say, yeah, water fill trigger from the drainage ditch. We've got a Farmer 400 silo. That is a standard in-game silo. That's not a modded one or anything like that. So 400,000 litre standard crop types. We've got a baler, another trailer. We've got some, we've got ploughs, front loader gear. There's stuff scattered around all over the place. Actually, what I'm going to do, if we go into build mode and demolish. Okay, so these little side buildings, like I said, don't really, oh, that one does, but that one, if you want to remove them, you can. I mean, they are there just sort of, I say, for the look of it. But if you want to remove them and put something else in its place, you absolutely can. If we go through, no, going back on myself, there we go. Over here, we've got our windrower, we've got our tedder, we've got some equipment and machinery in here, including a feed mixer, we've got our seeder, is that a power harrow? Yeah. Lime and fertiliser spreader. We do have a bit of solid fertiliser, a bit of seed, and we do have a front mower in here. We do have a workshop. So the workshop icon is inside, that's the trigger, but actually you've got the hazard marked area, so you bring your vehicles to the outside just here, you are good to go. And if we go over to the barn here, we've got 2 start tractors, we've got the Bureau, and we have got the Steyr. I'm pretty sure you started with the Steyr on the previous version of the game. I'm thinking back. Someone asked me the other day about maps and asked me for a specific map. Could I remember a map where I did X, Y, Z? And I had to message back and be honest, said from 17 through 19 through 22, I've done hundreds of map tours. Sometimes maps blend in your memory. And when it does get confusing is when you get a situation like this where you've got 2 maps that are made by the same map maker, and whilst not identical, they are very similar, and then it's remembering bits from previous ones you've done, and yeah, it can get a little bit confusing. But anyway, little sort of village area, housing estate, I guess you'd call it. We're going to head up from here. We are going to switch over to a pickup. I'm going to lease one when we get a bit further out, because this isn't the fastest tractor in the world, but it's all good. So, slot count, I didn't talk about that, did I? Is 1,191 on New Farmer. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, it's 1,051. Difference being you don't start with any of the starting machinery, equipment, tractors, nothing like that. All the buildings are all still there. You just don't start with the equipment and machinery. That's the difference between the two. As you can see, pretty much flat across the whole map. There might be the odd little rise and fall, but I'm pretty sure it's flat. We've got a pizzeria to our right, sell point just there. We have got some plots. When I said about the price of fields and plots, there are some plots for forestry. I think 4, I think it says 4 logging areas. We've got carpentry just there, but there's no sawmill on the map. We have got carpentry just there, but no sawmill. The lighting's nice. I think it works well. The colour palette seems to be, you know, it's got a nice look to it, nice feel. Not overly bright and like I've said this so many times before when I do map tours, some maps are absolutely covered with bright flowers, or everything just seems very bright, almost to the point of cartoony. Some you get the other way, which are very grainy, very gritty, very realistic. This is a nice balance between the two, I think. We do have 3 or 4 electric charge points. There's one just here. If we come around, we've got a production around the back, bakery. Again, that's a standard in-game one. I always said about what's under the build mode. So there's your bakery, just there. From the back, we've got the shopping mall, sell point, just there. And then we've got the fast food restaurant, just there. Go back across the car park. And down the road just a tad. We've got another electric charge point just to our left, just over there. Now there is a gas station here, but as far as I can tell, it's not actually a gas station. It's not showing up on the map as a gas station, and when you pull up next to it, you don't get anything coming up saying refill. So, I mean, the downside, and like I said, the problem being that, so we've come out there, up the top, and driven across here, down here, down here, down here. So, we're at this bit here. Because you can't buy these plots, because I thought, oh, that's alright, there's plenty of modded fuel tanks, fuel buy points, gas station ones, you can just, you know, but unfortunately you wouldn't be able to place one there because you can't buy the land. Like I say, it's you know, most people may consider that's just, it's a minor thing. We are here at the vehicle shop, vehicle store, with the workshop trigger just here. This is also the map's reset point. So if you need to reset any machinery, you can do it from here. And then just down past here, we are going to come back across here in just a moment. We have got the grain mill. I know what I should have done while I was there. This is the grain mill. Again, standard. This is not modded. I think I'm going to have to put some money in. I've just suddenly remembered. Pretty sure I am. But anyway, we'll go to the back to the vehicle store. I'm just going to grab a pickup and then we can carry on from there. Pickup purchased. Money has been put in. Something else I was going to point out. If we go to here, pretty much everything to the south of the main farm and where we are now at the vehicle store, grain mill here. This is all fields. There are a couple of, like I said, these little plots that have got farmhouses on, but you can't buy the land. There are no sell points down to the south. It's all open farmland. A bit of forestry. I said we've got 3, 4 forestry plots. One there, one there, one there, and one there. Yeah, 4 forestry plots. So, yeah, it's all farming down to the bottom. We are going to head over this way, then we're going to head up to the northeast corner of the map. So, let's go and grab the pickup. There's something else that gets asked when I do map tours, when in a situation like that, and that's why I wanted to point it out. Some people say, well, why don't you go to all areas of the map on a map tour? Well, one, you don't always have time to go to all areas on a map. It doesn't work that way. And normally when I'm doing a map tour, I will point out features that stand out, sell points, productions, farms, bits that you can buy, bits that for whatever reason stand out. Again, that's a personal thing. That's just things that I kind of might notice or might see. We have got the farmers market sell point and an electric charge point here. So farmers market, and then around the back we have got an electric point just there. So yeah, oftentimes when it's all just farmland, I'm not saying, you know, there's nothing wrong with that part of the map, but there's no sell points and no things down there, unless something stands out, a feature, a landscape feature or something in particular. Then, like I said, often it's hard to fit everything in. And then the flip side of that is if you then go driving around parts of a map like that and you extend the map tour by an extra 10 minutes, people then say, well, why did you bother doing that? It was a waste of time. So you have to kind of balance what you're doing, but that's why I wanted that sort of. There is farmland out there, it's all there, but no sell points and things. So, animal dealer is just here with the animal dealer sell point. Now, I am wondering, so sell point just there, and we've got animal dealer sell point trigger, or sorry, buy point trigger just there. If we come back to our map, we come along here and we are here now. I think That's the animal dealer sell point. Not that I think, that is the animal dealer sell point icon. But up here, we've got the animal dealer icon. I think that's supposed to be down here. Because as you can see, that's where it is. And when we get further up and you get to where it shows on the map, there's nothing up there. So I think on the map, that icon's just in the wrong place. It's probably supposed to be down here. So the map may get a minor update potentially just to adjust that. Or it might not. Once you know that the livestock market's there, it's not too much of a problem. So, turning out this direction, we come towards the biogas plant. Now the biogas plant is one that the icon's trigger's already there, so you can buy the biogas plant, but you don't get the land it's on. This plot to the side that's got the silage clamps on, that's the plot you can buy. So you could remove these silage clamps and put in new ones if you want to. I'll show you on the map. So we are currently here. So the biogas plant sits on this bit, which you can't buy, but 143 you can for 13,640. So we'll do that. If I go to that and then potentially now, I haven't tried it, but well, that's interesting. Or maybe that's just to use them. I was going to say, once you've purchased the land, then you should be able to sell the silage clamps, but no. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's not to sell them. Select. No, it just tells you they're there. Oh, okay, that's curious. Biogas plant is 435,000. And again, it's difficult to tell. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't think those recipes... I always tend to look for the cycles per month. The cycles all say 24 cycles per month, and my brain then says, okay, that's a standard. It's a fairly standard biogas plant. It takes silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, which most of them do. The ones for me that stand out are the ones that take extra crop types, or the cycles per month are a lot higher. Obviously, the recipes do differ. And on some maps, the recipes might have been tweaked a little bit. It's difficult to compare every biogas plant, all the standard in-game ones, any modded ones, any that have been made, any ones that map makers do. Again, if you line them all up side by side and put their stats side by side, you'll be able to see the differences in recipes. But for me, I'm kind of looking for, does it take the standard crop types in? Are the cycles per month fairly standard? The recipes might be a little bit different, but that's generally what I look for on a map tour. I'm coming across very defensive, I know. As I'm talking, I'm thinking I'm sounding like I'm trying to justify what I'm doing. It's just the way I do it, that's all. So, continuing back north, up to the northeast of the map. Traffic's quite light, actually. It's one thing I was going to point out when we're even in the town. There's not a huge amount of traffic. We come to this point here. Now, this does say grain storage. Now, as far as I can tell, it's just a sell point. Because if we go into here and we come to our sell point, it's just there, and we look across from wheat to the right, we've got grain mill and grain storage. So as far as I'm aware, the grain storage, that point just aside there, that is a sell point. And then we've got a lime station just here. And then just past here, this is where that trigger's showing for the animal dealer. But there's nothing actually showing on the ground. That's what makes me think it should be further down on the map. Which is all good. Now, we come to the large dairy farm. Just to the left there, that's important because when you purchase this land, that is the farmhouse for the large dairy farm. If we turn in just here... and swing around. When purchased, this cow barn will hold 80. So that's just behind us. So we are now on from the biogas plant all the way back up there. Grain storage, lime station, that trigger, we are here at plot 142. This will set you back 706,800, which is quite expensive when you consider, I mean, it's a little bit bigger land, I suppose. And I guess it takes in, there's a few sheds and buildings, and it's a larger, anyway, regardless, that's how much it costs. If we buy that and do that and that, you'll see sleep trigger just there, cow barn trigger, and the triggers all appear on the ground. So I've got back in my pickup. So cow barn just there for 80 cows. We do have quite a bit of barn space, building space, and we do have a workshop trigger in this barn here, just there. If we come round, as I said, the farmhouse is out the front. Just there. And I think once you've bought the land, you should be able to, yeah. So you can remove the barns and buildings if you wish. If you want to change that main large dairy farm to something else, you might want to put a different livestock building in. It's entirely up to you. From here and heading up the road on our left hand side we have got the dairy. That's just in there, that's part of the EU factories, is it? Pack. We turn in down here, we've got another water point out here by the lake. Another little campground with a lake and water point just there. When we come back out onto the road, we then have got the spinnery just there. And that's the map. That's I keep saying Brosumersiel, but it could be Brosumer, but apologies if I've said it wrong. Brosumersiel by Torben. I will stop and show you where we are on the map. So from there, up there, went out to the water point, spinnery, we're up the top here. Then the road continues down and go back down in towards the town, back across out towards the berm out on the western side of the map. Nothing is showing for animal pastures. If we go down to here, you'll see you've got cow barn large because we bought the plot. I don't think, as far as I can tell, or actually saying that, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, these are all grass fields. I think on the previous version, where the berm was, we had some plots across the top here that were sheep pastures. I don't think any of them are. Bear with me a second, I'm going to buy some and just double check. As far as I can tell, I bought all these ones down here, all these grass ones. I bought all these ones up here just to double check. That's not to say there aren't any on any of these other grass fields, but I don't think there are. Apologies if I'm wrong. But anyway, that is the map by Torben. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.